Chains by Boss. Chains by Boss is now the official sponsor of the Cowboy Up podcast. If you need your custom cowboy chains, you go to Chains by Boss. You can find them on any of your social media. You can find them on TikTok, Chains by Boss on TikTok. You can find them also on Instagram, Chains by Boss, and you can also find them on Facebook. Chains by Boss will deliver the hottest new cowboy chains for you, and we recognize them as our official Cowboy podcast sponsor. Thanks. And always, Dallas Cowboys for life. Peace. The Cowboy Up podcast would love to welcome Vosqueros Game as our official sponsor of the Cowboy Up podcast. Vosqueros Game has all your custom stickers, your custom towels, your custom tumblers, anything you need to represent your team, such as those Dallas Cowboys or even those hated San Francisco 49ers. Vosqueros Gangs have you. You can find them on all social media, especially Instagram and TikTok. The Cowboy Up podcast welcomes Vosqueros Gang as our official sponsor of the show. As always, Dallas Cowboys for life. Peace.
Check it out.
From Stop 6, Texas, it's the big fella. It's Dallas Cowboy Chris. And from the 915, El Paso, Texas, it's 21 Armando. 21. And from the capital city of Texas, Austin, the Hill Country, is our man, Retrofit Sports. It's Rue. And from the great state of Arizona, he's Mikey. 520.
Stephen A. Smith will admit this team right here is legit, cause this is our year. This is our year. No wonder they be hating, cause this is our year. This is our year. This is our year. It's time to finish this fight, cause this is our year. The name of the game is win, we them Cowboys. First down, second down, we them Cowboys. Third down, touchdown, we them Cowboys. Everybody over here be some Cowboys. We be die hard, we be die hard, we be that blue.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Man, it is game day. It is game day. It is game day. What's up, fellas? Man, let me introduce the crew, man. My man from the Hill Country of Texas, man. The capital city is my man, Retrofit Sports. Hook 'em. It's Rue. What's up, baby?
Shit, my boys had a good showing yesterday. Need these boys have another good showing today, baby. Let's go.
I feel you, man. And from the great state of Arizona, it's my man, Mikey. 520. What's up, Mikey?
I like to forget Friday. I really do. But we're on and popping. We're on and popping. Forgive the coffee stain because
hey, man,
we're on it early.
Don't worry, man. It's early kick, man. Coffee stains and jelly stains. Everything is allowed when you get that early kicks. When you got on the icy whites, man. This is another thing, man, that drives the big fella crazy. When you go to the stadium, when you go to AT&T and everybody have on blue and your team have on white, it makes no sense to me. Put on your icy whites, man.
Well, in their defense, all right? I get it.
It's no defense. It's no defense, Mikey. It ain't no defense. It ain't no defense.
But our team loves wearing their whites because they think the blues are bad luck. But the blues are beautiful, baby. The blues are beautiful.
The Mikey, the 70s blues was called bad lucks. Okay, the new blues aren't in it. They just regular jerseys. But the fire jersey that made the Cowboys popular is the whites. the whites, baby. You got the whites on, man. You saw when the Cowboys came on the field, man. You always had them icy whites. Hey, on the road or at home. That's just my pet peeve with Cowboy fans. You know, it's just my small one, man. Wear your white jersey, man, at the game, unless we're wearing blue at home. And I hate when they do that crap. I hate that shit. I hate it. But look, man, let's get started, man. Let's get started, man. We got these hated New Orleans Saints marching into AT&T today. And man, Rue, man, we'll start with you, baby, man. How you feeling about the game today versus those hated New Orleans Saints?
For me right now, I just feel really good about how my O-line should step up against their defensive front. I don't think they're going to be able to create pressure with just their four-man front. They're going to have to bring an added blitzer in, and Dak Prescott is extremely good against the blitz. So I feel like we're going to be able to have a good showing in terms of how we're going to attack them. I think they're going to be riding high because of their huge win last week. Mind you, it was against the Panthers, but anytime you blow out an NFL team like that, you should feel good about it. I don't care how bad the team is. Mm-hmm. It's uncommon to have that kind of point, to put up that kind of points against any NFL opponent. And ultimately, Derek Carr, you're not throwing for 60-yard tubs today. That's not going down. Secondary is going to handle its business. You're not going yard against this defense. No freaking way.
Mikey, how you feel about these Saints today, man?
Well, it's a trap game for sure. That's what I would want them to go with caution with. We referenced the Arizona game last Cowboy podcast. So remember Tuesdays, 8:00 Central Time. I always know 5:00 Mountain Standard. But I would be really. My defense played great, but they're riding high on that Kubiak system. They're doing that, and I would just want them to protect, contain, keep Derek Carr in the hole, and don't let that play action game take over. I like the way our defense dominant, but remember, this could be a potential trap game. Hold down the fort and hold down home. Oh, guess who's on? He's a starter on the huddle, but he's a reserve on the Cowboy Up podcast.
Say, man, I will not let you talk about Cowboy Corner like that. He is our friend. He is our number one supporter. Mike, how you doing, man? You gonna let Mikey talk to you like that?
No, I'm definitely a reserve on this show. I'm definitely a starter on the huddle. But guess what? I am the co-host of the First School Report. I am the owner and editor of Cowboys Corner on YouTube. I am the inventor of Talking Crazy that went ham last night. Already 500 views, 50 people watching one show. I am Cowboys Corner, as you know.
There you go, man. You know
my name.
You know Mikey a pick at you unless you fight back, okay? You got to fight back with Mikey, okay? But I love that about him because he's going to pick it. He's going to bring the best out of you.
Friday, I got some of the best messages on Friday. I was like, fuck these guys, man.
Hey, Cowboy Corner say put some respect on my name. Hey,
you know why I'm a reserve, big fella, to the show? Because Mikey's a part-time to your show.
Oh! Ouch! Ouch! Dang! Right. You wasn't ready for that one. You wasn't ready for that one.
You better raise up, Mike.
He wasn't ready. No.
Hey, Corner, man. This is I love it, man. It's gonna be a great day today. Hey, I like when Corner is fired up. Hey, when Corner's fired up, it's gonna make everybody fired up, man. Hey, Corner, man. The question was for you got in here, man. What you think these Cowboys gonna do today, man, versus these hated New Orleans Saints?
You know, Dak Prescott is 14-0 at this stadium right here, right now. The Saints you put on the tape, they weren't great. They're playing the Panthers. The Panthers are selling $1.80 tickets.
No, they were playing the Prairie Kittens.
There you go, even worse. All right.
$1.80.
It was very opportunistic. They cashed in. They were supposed to beat the Panthers. All right. The Panther season's done even before it started. We knew that. All right.
Right.
You stop their running game, you win this game. If you pressure Derek Carr, you win this game. Last week, Derek Carr had over 5 seconds sometimes to throw the ball. The Panthers had no penetration. And the Saints O-line ain't even that good. I'm not a big believer in that O-line. But Calvin Kamara is still him, and you have to stop. You have to contain him. Overshown and Kendricks are my guys to watch in this game. They should have massive amounts of football. Now, another thing before I got on here, Mikey was talking about at the trap game, the Cardinals game. No. The Cardinals game's defense was a Dan Quinn defense. It's a new day in Dallas. We got a Mike Zimmer defense. It's
Right.
2 different years.
Well,
Hey, man.
I get it, but we could go, resting on our laurels, or we did last week. And every game, I want them to come with the dominant mindset. You remember, big fella,
Yeah.
how it was stagnant. What I mean by that is start hard, start fast, and step on their throat early. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, and my whole thing, I'm glad a corner brought this up about stopping the run. Because the Saints had a real good game against those Prairie Kittens, running the ball up and down the field on them, man. I just don't think it's going to be possible today. On my 60 seconds with the Cowboys, man, I said DeMarion Overshown is going to have over 10 tackles today. I think he's going to be keyed up on Kamara. I mean, everywhere Kamara go, I think Overshown is going to go. So I'm really not worried about that run game today. And then our defensive tackles, man, have improved because we finally got somebody my size and Mikey's size in the middle to actually stop the damn run. Everybody else, how we were saying our linebackers was light in the pants. Our defensive tackles were too. Even though Idigizua was more of a 3 than a 2 and a 1, he played off shoulder. So, I kind of give Adigizua a pass, but everybody else like Mozzie and whoever else we had at that at 1 and 2 technique, man, they were lighting the ass, but not this year. Cause we got some beef there, and you can't run there, bro. Hey, man, welcome, my man Kuiper AZ, man. What's up, baby? And by
Hey,
the way,
what's up, y'all?
happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Hey, man. I know you are around the league expert. What do you think about this game today, brother?
I mean, it's kind of tricky because I really don't know what this Saints team is gonna be weak at. I thought their biggest weakness was gonna be offensive line, but their rookie tackle Talis Fuaga really showed out his first game. Derek Carr, he's to me, he's still that average game manager QB, but I don't know. He kind of looked like he could sling the rock a little bit.
Yeah.
That Dallas defense, if you can get past those offensive tackles of the Saints, it will not be a game. Dallas will automatically win the game.
Mm-hmm.
If Michael Parsons balls out, if D-Law balls out, Dallas has it in the bag.
Okay. Rue, what you think about that?
Man, I mean that kind of just harps on what I said at the beginning because I feel like we have them beat in the trenches. I don't think that their O-line is going to be able to protect Derek Carr. Derek Carr is not throwing 60-yard touchdowns today, not against this secondary and this defensive front. And I really feel like we can really handle their pass rush because they're going to have to bring the blitz. And Dak Prescott is extremely good against the blitz in terms of quarterbacks in this league. When they face a blitz, I think he'll find the holes in the zones and be able to kind of string them up. It is a little concerning that we don't have Jake Ferguson today. I would feel better if we had him today. But Schoonemaker was drafted for a reason, and hopefully he steps in and fills that void. But I feel like it could be a day for some of these outlying receivers, right? Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert. They're going to have to get involved. They're going to have to do their part with the absence of Jake Ferguson. And I feel like with Dak Prescott being that floor general that he is, I think that he can do what needs to be done against a very old secondary. Tyrann Mathieu is a great player, but it's on the last leg of his career. He's not the same guy. As much as we may respect him, he's not what he was, some years ago.
Yeah, Mikey, man, what you think about that, man? Are you? What do you think about our defensive ends versus those Saints offensive tackles?
What is it, Ramcheck? No, well,
Ramchick's out.
I want to go back to what Mondo said, and what he said about we don't know what they are. Like, we obviously know that Carolina is not for real. That they could be downgraded as an NFL team the way David Tepper is running them, and all are the Browns that bad, or are they a product of what the Dallas Cowboys did to them? You know what I mean? As much as they're killing Deshaun Watson, and rightfully so, people are doing it because of his actions and the things that he's done. But was Deshaun Watson that bad, or was he that bad because of Mike Zimmer and this squad? You know what I mean? We don't know yet. So I understand where Mondo's coming from. I know what the Dallas Cowboys are as far as personnel, Overshown, Parsons, Tank, and what they brought and the difference they look. So I know my defense is for real. And honestly, at home, with the home field advantage, I like us. And once we control that, we control the game. We just have to have David Carr on the swivel and control that running game. Football is winning the trenches, running the ball, and controlling the ball. And we have them stop, especially like I said earlier. They have this new Kubiak system, and that's the new fashion of the league, if you really think about it. Mike McDaniels, the 49ers, what they do with that Shanahan Kubiak system, that they give you razzle dazzle, and then they do that zone blocking scheme and want to control the ball, and they come out play action with it. I think we have the bodies, and we ain't gonna bite on that shit. We're gonna fill every gap, and if they have any minimal games, that's what it is. But this game should be in hand. I'll respect them as a football team, and I'll respect what they did and what they're capable of. But it's in the bag, baby.
Hey, corner man, what you think about our defense versus our defensive line versus their offensive line?
No, I think we're gonna feast. I think we're gonna get some good things here. Kent Kubiak is their offensive coordinator for the Saints, and Mike Zimmer knows him well. Mike Zimmer knows him well. Why? Because he was the offensive coordinator for Mike Zimmer there in Minnesota. So Zimmer knows this guy inside and out. And so this D line, this O line, they don't stand a chance. They really don't. And they didn't see a lot of pressure and a lot of experience on that Panthers team. They just didn't. And they're about to come meet the Dallas Cowboys defense. That's what they're about. That's what's about to happen. I feel bad for them. I do. All the little Saints fans that think they're 1-0, all that Who Dat Nation, you're going to know who Dak is, all right? You're going to know who that is.
Did you say Dak? Who Dak is or who Dak?
Who Dak is. You know what I said.
Hey, Root, real quick, man. My computer is kind of lagging, so if I cut out, you're going to have to take over, okay? Also, man, the big thing. You got it? Okay. So one other matchup, man, that I'm really looking forward to is this matchup here. Chase Young versus Tyler Guyton, right? Guyton gave up one sack last week against, to me, the best defensive end in the league. So he played excellent, man. Kaipa AZ, what do you think about this matchup, Young versus Guyton?
Honestly, I don't like Chase Young. I think he was a bust like at least 2 years after he came into the league. I didn't like him for nothing. I didn't think he really did anything for the Niners. I don't think he's going to do anything for the. I think Guyton really showed that he can hold his own against the league's best defensive edge duo. So I think he has this in the bag. If anything, he might give up a pressure here and there, but he's not giving up a sack today.
Yeah, and for y'all who's watching for the first time, and then during our draft show, I started calling him Kuiper AZ because he said the Cowboys are going to draft Tyler Guyton. The next pick, what did they do? They drafted Tyler Guyton, and I think he hit on, was it 18? Well, no, it was 20 of the 32 picks. So, hey, it was one of our best shows we ever had. So I just like whenever Kaipa AZ say anything about matchups and everything, hey man, I'm listening. I'm listening. So Mike, Cowboy Corner, What you think about this matchup, man? Are you concerned about this matchup at all?
No, not at all. You look at what the Saints did last week. Their defensive line it doesn't apply pressure. They had 4 sacks yesterday. 3 of those 4 sacks was from a slot corner.
Okay.
That's who we should be worrying about. Taylor. All right. Demario Davis had the other sack. Their linebacker. What happened was Chase Young is Chase Young. That's the bust. The bust. Put the Taco Charlton stamp on him. But the way they use Taylor, Dak has to be able to recognize that because he could come from anywhere, off the ball, 5 yards, playing press. The guy, that's who we need to be watching out for, and that they're going to attack Tyler Guyton with Taylor. I guarantee it.
Okay, Rue, what you think about this matchup, baby?
Chase Young, Chase Young is not Myles Garrett. It is A and like F. They're completely they're on different tiers, man. These guys are not the same. If Tyler Guyton can put up that kind of performance against Myles, I expect him to shut down Chase Young. I expect him to absolutely get his hands on him, keep him where he's at. Don't let him spin. Don't let him use his athleticism because I'm shitting on Chase Young a little bit. I still respect him as a player. I still think he brings something to the table. But if he really brought something to the table, he'd still be in San Francisco. He wouldn't be playing for the Saints.
Hell, I think he'd still be with the Commanders. Hell, he'd still be with the Commanders.
There's a couple guys that we would think that would still be with the Commanders. I mean, shit, just look at Sweat. I mean, that's crazy how they let both of those guys go. And yeah, so it's just like you're looking at a situation where I think Tyler Guyton's just going to have another brilliant day in terms of his spot on that left tackle position. I don't expect too much pressure from Chase Young. They're going to have to bring extra guys to get pressure against our O-line.
Oh, okay. 520, what you think about this matchup?
Well, you got to put respect a little bit on Chase Young. He could have been the Super Bowl MVP for 3 quarters at least. So he did show out. If they didn't know the overtime rules, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, Chase Young ain't that dude, but you got to give. I understand it was Tyler Guyton last week versus Myles Garrett, but it was really a lot had to do with what Mike McCarthy did as a game plan and alleviating him and helping him out and not leaving him on an island all alone with the defensive player of the year. But this week is a little different, and we'll see. They're going to leave him on the island. We'll see what Tyler Guyton has. You know what I mean? One game doesn't make you an MVP or a Hall of Famer. So it's one game at a time, and we'll see what Tyler has. And if he starts struggling, we know we have the coach this year to help him out. Right. And like you said, Schoonmaker's going to be big. Zeke's going to be big in helping him any kind of pressure. And especially with Taylor picking up that blitz, because you're right. All those sacks was made, but three of them was from a DB.
Yeah, that's great info, corner. Hey, Kuiper, man, I want your opinion on Derek Carr. I know we've all had our different opinions on him, Rue. And I just want your honest opinion right now. The David Carr now, not the Raiders David Carr, the Saints David Carr. I mean David. I'm sorry, Derek. Derek and David. They should have gave him a different D. Okay, all right, Derek Carr, man. Kuiper, what do you think about Derek Carr?
I think right now for the Saints, he's what Alex Smith ended up being towards the end of his career for the Chiefs. He's a game manager. He's not the dude to go down the field and in the 2-minute warning from the fourth quarter to lead his team back for a game-winning touchdown. He has a lot of weapons for him. He has Chris Olave. He has Rashid Shaheed. He has Alvin Kamara in the backfield, a really good offensive line that, they might have lost Ryan Ramczyk, but they still got decent tackles. All he has to do is make the passes that his offensive coordinator schemes up. So if he does that and he does not turn the ball over, the Saints would be pretty decent. But he's nothing special more than just a game manager.
Okay. Cowboy Corner, what's your opinion on Derek Carr?
Yeah, Derek Carr's in his 11th year.
Mm-hmm.
In those 11 years, he's only thrown over 30 touchdowns in 1 year, and that was his second season in the league. So this
Okay.
guy can't even eclipse 30 touchdowns. So the guy hit it right on the head. Game manager all day long. You pressure him, he's going to crumble. He's a little better than Danny Nichols over there in New York, but this is
Dang,
Pennies,
dang,
bro.
Corner, you
Pennies,
put it.
pesos. Daddy
Hey,
pesos.
hey, hold on, Corner. I know you're on fire today. You just compared that. You compared Derek Carr to the quarterback for the New York Giants.
he's a little better. I said that he's a little better. I
He's
didn't
a
compare. I
little.
just say he's a little
Wow.
better.
Wow. Okay.
He's a little better.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Come on, man. Worst in the league is kind of hard to beat by a little better.
He's a little better. We're talking about Derek Carr here, people. Come on. What's that? Josh Dobbs is better than Derek Carr.
Oh.
At least teams want him.
Wow. Okay, Rue. You I know at one point you were on that bandwagon for Carr. What do you think about him now?
Honestly, for me right now, it's the mistakes with Derek Carr. Even in games where they're in the lead and things like that, it seems like as soon as the pressure comes or he's having to move, he's throwing it to the other team. It was apparent last year. It's apparent, we'll see what happens with him this year. But you guys really said all that needs to be said about Derek Carr. He's a game manager at this point, and you're just hoping he doesn't make those mistakes because he is prone to make them. And I feel like he's going to throw. I feel really good about the over on his interceptions today. If it's one, take it. If it's 1.5, take it. Because I feel like he could have one or two today against this defense, especially with how hungry we saw Kalen Carson was trying to snatch that ball away last week. I bet he comes away with one this week. And we already know what Diggs is capable of. He got himself one last week. So it's one of those things where I feel like because of the amount of pressure that this Dallas Cowboys defense can generate, he's going to be running for his life. He's going to be running for his life today, and he's not good in those situations. So be ready for the picks.
So Rue just dropped the bet nugget. He say if the number is 1 on turnovers with Carr, he say take the over. So all right, Mikey. What you got on Derek Carr?
Derek Carr. We don't know what he is, man. We don't know what he is. Like we do, but I'm saying this year.
Yeah.
Because and you guys mentioned Chris Olave. I don't remember seeing him in the game last week. And that's bad considering that was against Carolina. So he could be that guy, but I'm just still on notice. It's still in the week one. We don't know bad teams don't know they're bad yet.
Right.
And they might not know they're bad yet until this week. I'm giving this pro guy a credit, comparing him to Nichols over there or Pesos over there is a little harsh. But last year he did have a shit season. So corner in the corner is he has a
In the
lot
Cowboys corner.
to say that. You know what I mean? So we'll see. And it'll be a product of Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer is bringing a new intelligence to this defense, not that keeping it simple, stupid. So the disguises, you know what? I'll say 2.5 interceptions today.
All right. Well, let's segue to his wide receivers, man. Of course, Olave and Shaheed. Did I pronounce his last name correct?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Shaheed, yeah.
Now, Shaheed had a big game against the Carolina, man. That boy is he fast, man. The dude, he got speed, bro. So this is somebody I'm actually concerned about. I'm gonna come to you first, Mike, corner. But I think, man, sometimes we have trouble with speed receivers. Okay, so it's a different defense. I saw that look on your face. Tell me why you had that look, Mike.
Because he didn't have a big day last week. He had one big play. He had 3 catches for 73 yards. One of those catches were for 59 yards.
Well, when my man in Miami get the big plays, we say he had a big game. So
We're
what's
talking about Tyreek Hill. He's more
yeah?
consistent than Shaheed. Come on, now Shaheed. I think where he's most effective is in the punt return,
Uh-huh.
and in the wide receiver screen game. That's where I think he's most effective. But
Okay.
running routes and stuff, I'm not worried about Shaheed. And then on the other token of that, you got where are my notes here? Chris Olave was MIA. I have all these notes that I've watched on film for
Uh-huh.
the Saints right here. And
Right?
I didn't mention Chris Olave's not one time I'm talking crazy because he did nothing for me on film. Nothing. He didn't stick
Wow.
out. Nothing. And now you're going
Okay.
against Trayvon Diggs and Carson and Jordan Lewis, the dog from Michigan. Oh,
From
Chris Olave
Michigan.
ain't going to be
From
on film either.
Michigan. All
Chris
right.
Olave ain't going to be on film either.
Yeah, he didn't do shit against Michigan. Anyway, Kuiper, man, what you think about Olave and Rashid Shaheed?
Man. So what I'm gonna say is Chris Olave, yeah, he didn't show up against Carolina, but it was week 1, man. Week 1 has like so many anomalies. It has so many players like doing bad, so many players that'll do good but not do anything for the rest of the season. I don't think Chris Olave is gonna be that dude. Last year and the year before that, he had really great seasons with a below average QB. So I mean, for this week, I think he's gonna go for big 27 receptions, just under 100. But Shaheed isn't gonna do anything this matchup. Cowboys are gonna play over the top with Mike Zimmer because he knows speed. He knows how to lock that down. I've
Right.
seen it with him before on his scheme. So like corner said, Shaheed, the best thing he'll do is in the return game.
Okay. All right. Mikey 520. Man, what you think about these receivers for the Saints, man?
I like our cornerbacks better. I like what Kalen Carson did. I like what how Diggs looked, and what makes our cornerbacks better is our defensive line, 100%. So it
Mm-hmm.
all falls back to, can their line hold up against our defensive line and put Derek Carr under duress and make him make bad decisions? And if he makes bad decisions, his margin for error is none, because how much better our secondary is to them too. You know what I'm saying? So that's the plus multiplier on. Don't get it twisted. Diggs is Diggs, but he's Diggs with a pass rush. Kalen Carson is hungry, and he's he's ready. And I just like our cornerbacks more than Olave and Shaheed. Like I just said earlier, you didn't hear shit from Olave, and he played against the Panthers. What do you think he's gonna be MIA? He's gonna be on a milk carton today. And always remember, like, subscribe. If you love us, like us, tell your friends about us. Remember, subscribe to Cowboy Corner, him and everything he has to offer. He just said it. You know, we all take shots at each other, and it's a shits and grins, but that's what we like doing. So, what
But
are
here,
your
let me hit that real
predictions
quick
for a
because
score for this game,
hold on,
Corner?
Mikey, because I haven't even hit the Olave thing yet. Um, and with when it comes to Olave and Rashid,
Oh, I'm sorry,
I
Bubba.
think the biggest thing for us as a secondary. No, you're good. I think the biggest thing for us as a secondary with them is going to be to stay disciplined. That's going to be the biggest thing for us because Olave is no scrub. Rashid's got real speed. We saw it last week. But ultimately, I don't think they're going to have the time to get downfield like they did last week. He's not going to get 5 to 6 to 7 seconds to throw like he did last week with Derek Carr. So these guys are not going to be able to escape the pocket or escape and get downfield like they were. But ultimately, I need Kalen Carson to stay disciplined because they don't switch, right? They don't follow their man. Diggs is going to play the right, Carson's going to play the left, and if whoever's going to be lined up is going to be lined up. So when he's facing Olave, you got to keep everything in front of you. And obviously with Rashid, just don't let him sneak behind you and get lost in the sauce. But ultimately, I feel like our secondary is better than theirs. So I think that with the added pressure that they're going to face this week, they're going to be dinking and dunking all day is all I can really expect from that offense. I don't expect them to go yard like they did last week.
Right, right. So, sorry for the internet problems, guys. It's bad when I'm hosting
Oh,
the
you
show and I
good?
can't even host it. I'm so sorry about that. Look. So I'm gonna go around the horn. Who on my 60 seconds today? I said Overshown was my key player to watch for the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboy corner. Who is your key player today to watch for the Cowboys?
I think you're going to get Donovan Wilson loose, laying the boom. All right, Dono is going to cost some CTE today.
Oh Lord!
Lord Jesus.
Oh,
Don't promote that. Hey, Capricorn does not promote CTE.
Hey, he on fire today. He hyped for the game.
About to
I'm about to
start,
say, he
man.
ready.
He
He
ready.
ready.
Hey,
He's on top
Kuiper.
of having a Bloodberry for breakfast.
Now, Kuiper, I know it's not your team, but who is your key player for the Cowboys today?
Man, I'm gonna say the most like one of the most obvious answers is gonna be CD Lamb because CD Lamb's gonna be played by their number two corner this game.
Oh,
Marshawn Lattimore is out this game, so if CD Lamb should feast, he should feast.
mm-hmm. All right. Rue, who's your key player to watch today, bro?
My key players in the secondary, and ultimately, I know what to expect from Diggs, but I got my eyes on Kalen Carson this week. Can you do
Okay.
what you did last week, shutting down Amari Cooper, holding him to only 2 catches on the day? But there were moments, right? There was that missed pass. There was that missed pass deep. Amari in corner end zone. You know, can you keep up that pressure that you did last week? I want to see him repeat it and do it again this week because as dangerous as Alvin Kamara is, I think their threat is truly through the air. And if I need to see if Kalen Carson can stay disciplined.
All right, 520, man. Who's your key player to watch today, man?
Well, I'm going to say that the product of the missed pass was because of one gentleman alone. I know this is very obvious, but until the league shows they could hold down double sticks in September, it's going to be Michael Parsons. You can't hold that man down. We say in September, okay? Because this is when he does that. We'll see. But yeah, you. That's number one. That's number one in with the Dallas Cowboys and on defense. Like I said, his pass rush makes that secondary better.
Hey, corner. I know I'm throwing this at you at the last minute. Do you know the active and inactives today?
Yeah. Ferguson is out. John Stevens is out. Trey Lance, Booth Jr. is all inactive. They did call up V Hill again, the linebacker number 41, and they called up Preston Font from the practice squad. But those are the major inactives that I know of.
Okay. All right, man. Well, look, we're gonna reach our final thoughts, man, because I know we all kind of hyped for the game and everything like this. So we'll start with Kuiper, man. If you got any around the league news, you got your Cardinal news, anything you want to talk about, bro, you can go right ahead.
Man, I got a couple of late injuries for you guys. Evan Ingram against the Browns is out. AJ Brown is out today too with a hamstring against the Falcons. That's some big fantasy for me. I drafted him, so that's gonna be tough. But just a final thought on today's games. Week 2 is really when we see who's who. It's really when we see rookies start to come out, rookies start to ball. You had like almost every first round receiver last week except for two, Brian Thomas and Worthy actually score a touchdown. So
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, only two receivers scored a touchdown. I think to this week we see Neighbors, Marvin Harrison each have really good games. So I'm excited for week 2. I think week 1's one of the biggest overreactions in the entire season.
Yeah, hey, you talk about first round picks taken and ain't playing. I drafted Christian McCaffrey because I had the number 1 pick, and that some
Oh,
bitch may
that's
not
tough.
play. He may not play the week 6. Some bitch. Anyway, fuck the Niners. Anyway, Cowboy Corner, man. Any final thoughts, man, on the game today? Or anything else you want to talk about? And please pub your show. Well, you know I love talking crazy.
I
I
appreciate
just
that.
go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no. I'm going to answer your question for real this time. Trey Lance, Booth Jr., Buddy Johnson, Matt Walesko, Ryan Flournoy, John Stevens Jr., and Jake Ferguson are the inactives. The 2 people that I called up for practice squad are still good. I feel like, you know, and I haven't talked to you guys since Dak signed the deal, but thank God Jerry did it on game day. So I was so distracted on calling my friends, getting all the week 1 details done, doing that, getting ready for game day. So I didn't even get to react to the Dak Prescott thing. So Jerry, thank you. But no, dude, I feel like Cowboys can really solidify themselves because people were talking about the offense production in the second half last week, right? It wasn't very good offense last week. I don't want to kick 66-yard field goals, and we tried that. I think I said that on this show.
Yes, you did.
We're opening ourselves to a can of worms, and we just seen it, right? So go get touchdowns. That should be the mindset, Cowboys. When the defense gives you the ball, go cash in. Go cash it in. And so I feel like we need to just show who we are. That physicality on that defense that I seen last week, it better translate to this week. Donald Wilson, when I said deliver some CTE like Halloween candy, I mean it.
All right. Rue, you got any final thoughts, man?
You know, I mean, obviously we've talked about this game, but there's some pretty decent matchups in terms of what you're looking at as a whole this week. And what's worse for me is I feel like I'm on so many favorites right now. That's the only thing that's on my mind right now is I got too many damn favorites picked. And I think my only upsets, one of them's already turned into the favorite. So since I'm on this game, I am curious, Kuiper. What are you doing against the Rams today? How is that going to turn out? And what's up with Marvin Harrison Jr.? What the hell happened to that man last week? Why was he non-existent? 1 catch for 4 yards. And I need an explanation. And I can't get it from anybody better than you. So please enlighten me on what the hell is going to happen today with the Cardinals and the Rams. Because they've had your number. I think they're 4-1 in the last 5 matchups.
We are terrible against the Rams, especially in the Sean McVay era. Honestly, I'd still take the Rams to beat us. I think it'll be a close game. But as far as Marvin Harrison, all I gotta say is look at what happened to Tyreek Hill. I know he lost his quarterback late in the third, but even before that, the Bills play a defense where they keep everything in front of them. Everything in front of them. They don't let anything go deep. So what happened was Marvin and Drew Petzings, our offensive coordinator, in his game plan was just dink and dunks and run the ball. And the Bills chose to follow Marvin on everything. They chose to bracket him on everything. So they really took him away from us, just like they did with the Dolphins and Tyreek Hill. So I don't think Marvin's gonna have that type of game this week. I think he's gonna actually have a decent game. He's gonna get at least 5 or 6 catches. But as far as against the Rams, we're gonna do the same thing we did last week. We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna do some play action, get Kyler a couple rushes. But our defense, man, is just terrible. It's terrible. We have no pass rush whatsoever. The Rams, I know they lost at like 3 starting offensive linemen, and Puka Nacua is out, but I really don't think Matthew Stafford's going to do that terrible against what is probably one of the weakest defense in the entire NFL.
Okay. So,
Do you have an upset of the week? I'm just curious.
Upset of the week.
My bad, Chris.
no, you're fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me just look at the schedule real quick. I
Because
think
like you got the Ravens minus 8.5. You've got the Patriots dogs at home plus 4.5. Your big games, the Broncos are plus 6.5. Your biggest line is the Ravens game at 8.5. There's only the Bucks get 7.5 today. Bucks get 7.5 today against Detroit.
I don't know if it's really much of an upset because of what happened during the love, but I think the Colts beat the hell out of the Packers today.
Wow, I took the Pack.
I look at that one. I think the Bucks might make it a close
Colts
game.
Colts are going to be pissed, bro. 27-29 final last week.
Hey, it's just
Malik
like
Willis is going to have a long ass day.
I just don't think I just don't think the Pack could go 0-2. They got a home game. So if they were on the road, I would have picked Indy, but I think the Pack is going to get them today. It's my opinion. My opinion only. But look, man, let me get my final thoughts in so everybody can go get prepared for this damn game. Look, man, my final thoughts is like this, man. I really want the offense to play all 4 quarters this week. They played 2 quarters last week, and third quarter sucked, and the game was out of control because the defense did what they had to do. But I want a full game today. Like Cowboy Corner said before he got out of here, man, let's capitalize on turnovers. Let's get in the end zone today, and let's put these Saints away and have their ass marching back to New Orleans. So, man, hey, like we all. Shout out to 21 Armando, man. He was down in the valley, man, in Laredo, hanging out with Buzz. Mikey computer crapped out. We were all having computer problems today. Shout out to Cowboy Corner. He simulcast the game, so he had to go get set up. And always, man, Kaipa AZ, man, we sure appreciate you sliding in the back door. Like I always say, sliding in the back door for me. and always, man, my man Rue, always hook 'em. I gotta say it. Shit, they kicked our ass. Hook 'em. So, man, Cowboy fans, like we always say, Dallas.
Hey, but we had fun.
We did. Like we always say, Dallas Cowboys for life. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Yeah, let me give a big shout out to Sports St. Louis Joe, bro, in the building. Always WWE Ivan Sosa in the building.
You see him? You see him?
The loyalist. You got Cowboy Beat in the building.
The great Cowboy Beat.
What's up to them? Big shout out, man. Big shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all joining. We only growing, guys. We only growing. It's gonna get bigger. Excited.
Hey, did you see he got retrofit right in the introduction?
I did it.
Hey, man. Hey,
Videos, dancing.
Hold on, Clem. Sometimes I screw up, Clem. Hey, man.
Players fuck up.
Hey, yeah, players fuck up. Yeah. First day of pad. Say, man, we all played, man. It's just something about that first day. Ain't nothing like it. It is nothing like it, man. Because now to me,
tomorrow tells the truth. Today was the fact, but tomorrow tells the truth.
This will tell you about I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm sick of this shit, man. I know we all co-hosts, but I like to have a little quick monologue before we get into a subject. Your ass always got to spread shit and eating wings and
motherfucker sprinting.
Calm down.
Calm
down, Mikey. Calm down, Mikey.
What you sprinting right now?
Yeah, we got a long show. We can go as long as you want to, man. So 21, what you got for
Brock
Yeah,
today, man.
legacy's legendary. Hall of Fame and Super
Pleasure to
Bowl.
meet you, Brock. I appreciate the love on TikTok, man. Shout out to Brock, man. Welcome to the show. Hey, I got the hard hitting questions, bro. I got the controversial.
You're gonna come out with that Whataburger in and out one, right?
We kind of keep it light, but big fella, I gotta hit him with Walter Cronkite stuff here.
Okay.
Drake or Kendrick?
See, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have never really grew up liking Kendrick like that, right? I've always been a big Drake fan, so I'm gonna say Drake, but not like us. Like I was telling Terrence the other day, because Terrence is a huge Kendrick fan. I was like, not like us has me feel like a certain way, because I'm like sitting there like vibing in that song, but it's like this is Drake, and I'm a Drake fan over Kendrick any day. So that's about the only Kendrick song I like. Yeah.
And remember, like, subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to like. If you love us, tell your friends about us. Like